Multiple times this week alone, I've gotten the question, hey, Bob, how long should I practice something before moving on, before letting it go? And spoiler alert, I don't have the answer for you, but I can tell you some things that I think about and the way that I move through that. Because yeah, I often wonder the same thing as well. So let's use the example of a tune that I'm learning or relearning. In this case, this week I've been playing the Thelonious Monk song Panonica a number of times, or just investigating it. So less than a week I've been working on it or working with it. But here's the thing: on day one, it felt pretty challenging, and day two, I was trying to remember from day one, etc. Guess what? By day three of working with it, ideas were starting to flow. And now I'm at the point where I wake up in the morning and I can't get the melody out of my head. So I'm probably about ready to move on from this song. I'm going to play a few things for you, but I wanted to just kind of talk about the process. And one of the first things is I just spent time playing the melody over and over. But the thing I would like to draw your attention to is rather than doing it sort of just willy-nilly, I kind of specifically spent time playing the melody exactly as it is. And from a combination of listening to Thelonious Monk's versions of it, or, some of them, that Chick Corea version off Now He Sings, Now He Sobs, etc. And also a lead sheet, tracking. I have a lead sheet of it that's pretty reputable, accurate. And I'm okay with that, like memorizing something from a lead sheet. What I do is I'm okay reading it, but I try not to keep reading it. So I'll read it just enough to get it, and then I get off the page as soon as possible. But here's what happens. I play the melody totally straight, and then I'll show you. So after I've done that, played it very straight, then I just begin to improvise rhythmically with the melody. So not adding too much embellishment, not improvising, although the urge creeps in. I want to start noodling and playing around with it. So it's an exercise in self-restraint to say, nope, we're going to stick with the melody. But I'm just going to use the notes of the melody. However, now I'm free to be spontaneous, improvisational with the rhythm of those notes. So see, there I have something specific to hold on to. I'm not trying to invent everything. I'm not even really improvising new material. I'm just saying, hey, how can I take this melody and play around with, pushing notes forward, laying them back, delaying resolutions, things of that nature. That's I find to be a great practice. The next thing I would do is go through and play the root motion. And this is so important for many reasons, but as you develop, what I've found anyway is that like the root motion will help you remember everything above it. That might sound really reductive and easy, but you'd be surprised how hard it is to go through tunes that you think you know and just play the root motion. So we'll start from the bridge. The last A section of this song has 9 bars in it, by the way, which is always woo. So that's challenging, and I will spend time doing that. And then I begin to improvise through the changes and kind of work through the chords, etc. Just the more that I can get the information of the tune under my fingers, then I can begin to like hear things over it and work with things over it. Now, a couple of days, well, more than a couple, I don't know, 5 days after beginning to work with the song, now I'm starting to explore, can I move ideas through it? Not necessarily every time all the way, but like, can I take a shape and keep playing that shape? Something that I can work with through the harmony. So I'm not going to go step by step with this, but just kind of pointing that out to you. Maybe you'll hear. I'll try to hit a few instances of it. So, like I said, it's a little clunky. Also, I feel weird doing it like, hey, I just told you this is what to do, and now I'm trying to do it. But it's not supposed to sound perfect. It should sound like you're trying, I think, anyway. But this is a way to, get to something and not just like, hey, I played the melody, I improvised through it and move on. So what about, I think I'm on day 5, maybe day 6, with just kind of living with this song. The fun thing is when I come into the practice room, I could do a little bit of warm up or whatever, but I also could just start right into the song. I can start playing the melody, start playing the root motion. The brain starts working too. I think it's imperative to get your brain practicing, not just your fingers. You don't want to be just playing and going through the motions, or try not to be. Anyway, just a thought. Hopefully that's helpful.